In today's video, we're going to take a look at a setup that I already have in Google, but we're going to start with a blank chart so that you can understand how we're coming upon these setups. So here, we're looking at a buy setup, and not only do we have some support here, we also have timing factors. So we have timing for a possible low between the 10th through the 13th, and it looks like so far the low has been made on the 10th. Now let's go back to not showing the calendar days and do the analysis. So what we're doing here is we're going to run all possible retracements, projections, and extensions on this chart and look to identify the trade setup. So here we'll be looking at these prior swings and then comparing them to the most recent swing, see where we're at there. We can also look at some retracements of prior swings and extensions of a couple of these swings. All right, so let's start with the projections. This is where you use 3 points on the chart and you're essentially comparing swings in the same direction. So here, for example, if we take this high to this low and then project from the high, okay, well that gives us lower support. But I'm going to look at the individual swings inside the larger swing and see where that comes in. Well, that's just about a perfect hit right there. Let's try the other one. Okay, so this one, high 158. Okay, here, so this high to this low. Let's see if we're through that one. Nope, we're through that one, so we don't need it. Let's check some of these others. Looks like this might be too small, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yeah, that's too small. How about this high to low? High to low, projected from the high. Nope, we're through that one. Let's try this one. High to low, projected from the high. Okay, we're slightly through that one. Well, we already have some symmetry support there, so that seems to be enough. But I'm going to try one more place here. High to low. From this high. Nah. Okay. Well, anyway, we have one symmetry projection that's close. All right, so where is the rest of the setup? Well, we're going to look at extensions. I'm going to look at the extensions of this low to high swing down and this low to high swing down. All right, let's see. So if we run this low to this high, okay, well, you have one that we went through and then one that is below the market, 234.31. Then we can also do the same thing here. We're going to measure the low to the high, run the extension. Okay, and that is also right underneath that symmetry projection. Okay, so right now we have 234.31 to 236.03. Then let's also check some of the most recent swings and see if we have any overlapping retracements. So I'm going to try this low to this high. Okay, well, we went through that 382, so let's get rid of that one. All right, looks like another place is developing underneath the market, but this is the one that we're up against right here, right now. Okay, so I tried that retracement. Let's try this one. Yeah, that comes in a little bit below. Okay, so bottom line, we do have a setup here, okay, and we have timing for possible low. All right, so let me get rid of stuff that's a little bit too far away from the market. We'll identify this area. Okay, if you want to, we can include that 382 also. So 233.31, 233.31 to 236.03. So that's basically the cluster zone. And it includes a couple of extensions, a 382 retracement, and a 100% projection. Oh, the other thing we could also look at is we can check projections here, high to low from this high. Oh yeah, then that's right there. This one, we're probably through that. Yeah, so there's actually another symmetrical projection inside there from taking this high to low, projecting from here. Actually, if I label where that low comes in, that's 1526, and then this high to low, 1548. Okay, so very similar, these two swings. All right, now, did we trigger an entry? Well, let's look. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you what a potential target would be if we continue to hold here. All right, so potential targets, if we continue to hold above this last low, and this is not the highest probability setup, it's not a royal setup, but it does have time and it does have price. And it's 261.48 is a potential target 1, 268.46 is potential target number 2. And let's see, did we trigger? So if we go and look at Google. Come on, Google. All right, so, oh yeah, so a 15-minute chart triggered over here. You had the moving average crossover. You took out a prior swing high, and so did the 30-minute chart. So we have the setup, we have the trigger, we have the potential upside targets. Could always look at, maybe an intraday pullback if you're not, already in this. But there's one more thing I'm going to show you real quick. Where are the hurdles on the way up? This way I don't have to do a second video, but low to high, projected from the low, okay? And then this low to high, projected from the low, and this low to high, projected from the low. Okay, so there's a really healthy hurdle on the way up that I want you to also remain aware of. So this comes in at 245.56 to 246.25. It's mostly symmetry plus a 50%. Then here's a 618 plus symmetry at 248.30 to 248.55. Again, to fail or not to fail, or if we are indeed going to shoot for the higher targets off of this time and price setup, then these areas need to be cleared on the upside. So that's something that you can also watch. But bottom line, the initial stop that I would have in is either going to be below this low, which is underneath 235.84, or below the low end of the support, which is 233.31. That's basically how we do it. Hope that helps. Like and subscribe if you like these videos.